the big towers that were built, the trade centers or the Empire State Building, were those built on codes? They were built well above the codes. Most custom homes now are built with good builders, are built well above the codes. The building of these buildings is what made us have the ability to write codes, because we learned from the building of these buildings and put it into the building codes. There's been the engineers, they refer to the building codes for their calculations, and they know how to build it. When something doesn't work, they quickly fix their calculations and they build it stronger next time. That's the solution. And with the building codes, many people think these keep us safe, these keep the houses from falling on us. Well, what's really happening out there is the code inspectors are now enforcing the green agenda more than they're enforcing the structural. They don't even check the footings, or they miss important bearing footings or posts, and the builder's like, oh yeah, we got to reinforce that. The engineer forgot to add an extra strap. And so the framer in the field says, oh, isn't there supposed to be a strap there? And they say, oh yeah. But they're like, oh no, now you have to go get it re-engineered. You have to get government approval to fix the problem. So now the government oversight is making it more difficult and harder to fix problems that we see in the field. And the same thing is the case for commercial. I don't know if you guys seen the new temple in Gilbert built. It's the tallest building in Gilbert. The code inspectors go out there and they look at it, the Gilbert, the LDS temple out there, and they look at it and they're like, you guys are good. It's well above the code. And that's the case for in a free market economy, when we're prospering and we have freedom. That's reality. The reality is, like for example, if we don't have an energy code in Queen Creek, are the houses going to be less efficient? We argue that they'll be more efficient with less regulation. The reason why is because you're not paying for the certifications, for the government oversight to come out there and do the blower door test. So you have a couple $1,000 extra to spend. What are you going to do with those $1,000? People spend it on efficiency and to make their houses look nicer. Most of the houses are built well above the code, but the code inspectors come out there and they nitpick it all apart and make you spend all this money on things that don't matter. So we believe that the energy would actually increase, the energy efficiency would increase more rapidly without all the government regulation, because right now when a new product comes out, a new mode of insulation, it is not allowed to be used until it gets approved by the ICC. It has to have an ICC report. There's many products that are coming out. The highest level of prosperity occurs when there's a free market economy and a minimum of government regulations. We're past the minimum regulations so far. A couple hundred pages of codes to regulate the structure and make sure there's something that's not going to start a fire, that's one thing. But when you get into thousands of pages of codes, it's not to keep us safe. That's how they sell it. They say to keep us secure and safe. And even if that were true, they would have to do it at the cost of our entire freedom. And we know that those who sacrifice freedom for security deserve neither, and they actually get neither. It's actually a lie to think that these building codes enforced by government keep us safe. Now, if we were not to mandate them, the entire book of codes, does that make the codes go away? The codes are still there. The engineers will still refer to them. If the guy you do your air wants to calculate it and doesn't know how to do it, he can refer to the code books to do it. But he's also allowed to make changes to it as he sees fit. If you want to change something, they can easily do that without all the government oversight. There's the contractors, registrar of contractors has been around a long time. There's been no problem with them. They understand building and they protect the homeowner. That's another funny thing is the builders take full liability on a house for 2 full years, no matter what happens. The concrete cracks, the roof truss sags, a door no longer shuts because the beam sagged. The builder is liable for 2 full years to take care of that. Is the city inspector liable? He misses something, they're not liable for anything. And we've checked. Nobody's been able to win a case against them saying, you missed this on the inspection, will you fix it? Please, government, come out and fix my problem. They have no liability whatsoever. The builders do. The individual subcontractors have warranties. And there's already means that have been set up in the free market to take care of such problems. Is construction problem free? Would it be problem free without the government? No, but would we be able to prosper and progress? Would our innovation be stifled with less regulation? Like you said, it stifles regulation and makes it so it doesn't progress as fast as it could without the regulation. MESA is actually on the 2006 International Code. So they will plan on passing the 2012 and the 2015 codes. They can skip as many cycles as they want. They're updated every 3 years. But when you update the latest code, you get everything. So we need to pay attention. That's one thing we can do is pay attention to the local. We haven't heard word of anyone passing it yet. Otherwise, we'd get the word out. But we could use all the watchdogs we can. Sometimes they pass it in a matter of a week or two, or sometimes we don't even know about it. 2012 code and 2015, 2018, every 3 years, the code cycle.